Rejoice. This is the day the Lord has made. I'm Dr. Amanda. Today is Father's Day. And before anything else, I want to honor every father who is here. The ones who poured in faithfully, the ones who are trying to rebuild, the ones carrying maybe regret, and the ones who are quietly doing better than anyone around them knows. We see you. We honor you today, Father. And Mama said, love covers a multitude of sins. And she wasn't giving anyone permission to keep doing wrong. She was describing what love does when wrong has already been done. It covers. Not excuses, doesn't pretend, but it covers. The way a blanket covers someone who is cold. The way a roof covers what the storm would otherwise destroy. And Mama had seen enough broken relationships to know that the ones that made it back to each other were not the ones who had the least to forgive. They were the ones with love big enough to cover what forgiveness had to work through. And she knew that kind of love did not come from people alone. It came from God, who demonstrated it first. Today we are talking about reconciliation. And I want to start by clearing something up. Reconciliation does not mean everything goes back to the way it was. It does not mean that the wound never happened. It does not require the other person to be ready before you can begin your own healing. What it means is this: two people decided to move towards each other. That is all it requires to begin. In Luke 15, which is the story of the prodigal son, gives us both sides of it. The son rose. That Greek word is ANISTEMI, and this is the same word used in the New Testament for resurrection. His decision to go home was not just a practical choice. It was a rising, but a resurrection of will. He stood up from the pig pen, turned his face towards his father before he knew how he would be received. And the father ran before the son finished his apology. Neither of them waited for perfect conditions. The miracle was in the movement. One person rising and the other person running. That's pretty powerful. And Desmond Tutu wrote, "Without forgiveness, there is no future." And then one of my people I quote often, Corey Ten Boom, and we've heard this before, she said, "Forgiveness is setting the prisoner free and discovering that prisoner was you." She also said, "The first step on the way to victory is to recognize the enemy." And the enemy of reconciliation is often not the other person. It is the unforgiveness that we decided to carry. Ephesians 4:32 gives us the Greek word CHARIZOMAI, rooted in CHARIS, meaning grace. Forgiveness in the Old Testament is not a feeling that arrives after the wound is healed. It is a decision, an act of grace extended before the feeling ever comes. The feeling follows the decision. And there's another Greek word in this text, EUSPLANCHNOS, means tender-hearted, literally means gut, a gut that moves toward rather than away from the person. Forgiveness begins in the gut before it ever reaches the reasoning of the mind. Now, I want to speak to this as a doctor of philosophy in holistic natural health and nutrition, because unforgiveness is not just a spiritual condition, it is a physical one. Physical because research on forgiveness consistently shows that the person who forgives benefits biologically. Lower cortisol, lower blood pressure, stronger immune system. And I can tell you from my own work, unforgiveness is one of the most undiagnosed sources of chronic inflammation, heart disease, stroke, metabolic issues, cancer that I have ever encountered. The body holds what the heart will not release. And forgiveness is not something you do only for the other person. You do it for your own body, your own nervous system, your own health. And I want to be honest about what reconciliation does not require. It does not require pretending the wound never happened. It does not require restoring a relationship that is genuinely unsafe. You can forgive someone who is still far, far away. You can release a debt without endorsing the damage. Forgiveness and reconciliation can happen in stages. Both are real, both are worth beginning. And here's your path forward. Number one, identify the first small move you can make, not the whole journey, just today's step. Maybe it's a text. Maybe it's a prayer for the other person. Choosing not to rehearse the offense over and over today. Just one step. Number two, care for your nervous system. Healing requires a body that is not in constant fight or flight. Slow your breathing. Rest intentionally. And lastly, ask God for the love Mama talked about, the love that covers, the love that moves before it feels completely ready. CHARIZOMAI. Reconciliation starts with one person deciding to rise. Maybe today, on this Father's Day, that person could be you. If this resonated with your heart, with your soul, like it, share it with someone you think may need it. All right? You be well and you be loved. God bless you.